All right, I'm about to share my screen and then, hi Diane, just how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
I want to hold the puppy. That's the way my week's been going. Holding a puppy sounds like very relaxing at the moment.
All right, is my screen sharing, huh?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right. It's now 5:32. I'm gonna turn it over to you all and go on mute.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to Crawford Long Middle School's GO-TEAM meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Crawford Long GO-TEAM to order at 5:33 on today's date. Our first order of business is to roll call and review our norms. The secretary will now take roll.
I forgot to unmute myself. Lisa Hill, are you present?
Present.
Okay, Natasha Hall, present.
Present.
Jameson Murphy, present.
Present.
Paula Hobson, present. Anna Dionese is present. Joanna Thomas, present. Lenicia Presley, present. Jasmine Binion, present.
Jasmine, she literally just sent a notification. They had an emergency move, so they have now gone to another school. So she will not be participating tonight, and then that'll be a vacant seat for next year.
Jesse Webb, are you present?
Present.
Okay, and John Kimbrough, are you present? Does anybody know if Mr. Hobson is on his way?
I'm going to do it
I
now.
called him and he said he was getting on.
I think
You want to do an all call?
Yeah, I'm going to do an all call.
I just called him. He said he's getting on right now.
Oh. So guys, if you can patiently bear with me so we can have right. Once he gets on. Okay. Ms. Dionese, can you call Mr. Hobson's name again?
Mr. Hobson, are you present?
Yes, I am.
This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Dionese, is there a quorum present?
Yes.
Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion.
A second?
I second.
All in favor say aye or
Aye.
raise your
Aye.
hand.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Please identify yourself by raising your hand. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. These minutes have been provided to you. I'm pretty sure Ms. Hill is going to open them up so that we can review them together.
Ms. Dionese, can you present?
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Dionese. And we will review them for a couple of moments to see if there are any corrections.
Okay. Let's see now. Okay, making sure that's the right, yes, okay. So, the meeting minutes from, February 15th, we call to order at 5:34. Ms. Hill, Ms. Hall, Mr. Murphy, Mr. Hobson, myself, Ms. Dionese, Ms. Binion, and Mr. Webb were present. A quorum was established. We did approve the agenda with 5 approving, no abstentions, no disapproving. The minutes from meeting number 4 were also approved. Again, 5 votes to approve, no abstentions, no nays. And then we did proceed to approve a parent seat. Ms. Hill introduced Jasmine Binion, parent of a 7th grade student. Ms. Binion introduces herself and describes her willingness to be a parent representative for the GO team. Ms. Hill opens up the chance for questions. Motion to accept Ms. Binion as a parent representative was made by Ms. Dionese, seconded by Mr. Murphy. 5 members approving, none opposing, none abstaining. For the discussion items, Ms. Hall moved us to the next item, budget development presentation. Ms. Hill shared her presentation with the team and states that the presentation may be modified due to updates in regard to funding. Prior to the presentation, Ms. Hill warns that there will be cutbacks due to the changes in funding allocations. And in the minutes, the presentation for the 5th meeting is linked right here. We are at step 5 for the feedback meeting. This is done before the staffing conferences. There was some conversation about discipline and ISS. Ms. Dionese addressed the art class size, and Ms. Hill interjects that a connections class will be cut for next year. Connections class sizes are being more regulated. CARES funds will continue for next year. That was good news. Mr. Hobson addresses class sizes overall, and Mr. Webb discusses the resources that are available through his program to be shared with students and staff. Next meeting, number 6, will be the budget approval meeting for voting to be approved by the board. And then in the information items and principals report, Ms. Hill addresses what is next. She brings up ACES 2.5, data for accountability, collaboration, equity support, shared and presentation. The highest priority being the wireless connection, transportation, new teacher coaches, and funds for teacher recognition. Announcements, try to identify individuals to register as candidates for next year's GO team. There was no public comment. A motion to adjourn the meeting was made by Mr. Murphy, seconded by Mr. Hobson, and the meeting was adjourned at 7:25 p.m.
All right, are there any corrections? If there are no corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I have a motion to approve last week's minutes.
A second.
I second that we approve the meetings as read.
All in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed
Aye.
say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Please identify yourself and raise your hand. All right, we will now move to the discussion items on our agenda. Discussion item number 1, we will now move to the budget approval presentation. Principal Hill, please share with us your final budget presentation.
Good evening, GO team. I'm proud to present our final budget presentation for approval tonight. So just a reminder of our norms. This is a meeting of the GO team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. Also, we invite and welcome contributions of every member and listen to each other. We will follow the agenda as noted to the public and stay on task. And last but not least, we will respect all ideas and assume good intention. All right. So as a reminder, we have been through several steps along this journey through the budget process. So we are now here at step number 7, the Go Team final budget approval meeting, which occurred after. So since we last met, we were at step number 5, which is the feedback. And thank you all so much for your feedback, even in the presentation of if we did receive more money, what will we do with it? So thank you so much. From there, I had my staffing conference the week that we were on winter break. It was that Thursday. So I will share with you the final budget. I am proud to say that nothing was changed. Everything was accepted from our draft budget. All right, so the what? During this meeting, Go Teams will review the budget, which should be updated based on feedback from the staffing conference. So once again, from the staffing conference, everything that we discussed during our February meeting, it was okay during the staffing conference. Also, the associate superintendents have reviewed, as well as key leaders, including finance, have all reviewed our budget. After review, Go Teams will need to take action, which we're doing tonight on our FY24 budget. Why? Principals will present the final budget recommendations to Go Team for Go Team approval, which we're doing tonight. When all approval meetings must be held after the staffing conference, which we are in compliance with, budgets must be approved by March the 17th. And this is a hard date so that the district can approve the entire district budget, which is comprised of individual school budgets. Any questions regarding the why, the what, the why, and the when? All right, so now budget review, as I stated, nothing has changed. However, I just want to remind everyone of our priorities as well as the rationale. So improve reading, lexile, and math performance via intervention classes. As we stated before, when we looked at our strategic plan, we wanted to focus on core classes and also making sure that we were improving reading as well as math performance. With that, as you know, when we came back from COVID, we had to reduce the amount of time for core classes, math, science, social studies, and language arts, due to implementing that school-wide intervention block daily. Therefore, we wanted to shift for next year to a dedicated course during connections for students to receive specific interventions, transition into specific classes, which will allow instructional time to be added back to core classes, as well as back to planning. With this, that meant the addition of one reading teacher and one reading/ELA teacher and one math teacher. That was approved. So next, continue to enhance the implementation of STEM school-wide program. As you know, with the new state, we're moving towards STEAM. We are STEM Cognia certified. However, we must become Georgia STEAM certified. So we want to continue consistent STEM and problem-based learning support for staff, as well as students, providing ongoing professional learning to support staff with the transition towards Georgia STEAM certification. Next but not least, no, I got another slide. So number 3, recruit, develop, and retain highly talented faculty and staff. We want to provide internal and external professional learning opportunities. We want to ensure that instructional coaches are provided professional learning opportunities that are redelivered to teachers, as well as consistently monitored. So with this, we want to make sure that we can fold in and support with teachers getting professional development as well, some direct professional development. Okay, I think that slide was in there twice. I apologize. So those were our major goals. Also, when we were presented, we were asked to review some BAS data. That's our behavior survey that the students take. And with that survey data, and you're going to see it in a couple of slides, there is a need to continue to focus on the whole child. So all of our wraparound services. So let's talk about the staff and conference changes. I'm proud to announce that there were no changes made to the draft budget we discussed at our last meeting. I will tell you, if you remember, our budget was drastically decreased due to us losing turnaround funds because we came off the turnaround list. With that, we had to abolish 2 positions. And the 2 positions were actually 2 positions that were added when we received turnaround funds. One being the school business manager position, the other one being the dance performing arts position. So those were singleton positions. For both of those positions, we had to go through the district mandated abolishment process. Any questions regarding this? All right. So there were no changes during our staffing conference from our last discussion. And our budget remained the same. That's why we were not impacted. So as a reminder, this is where what they call the summary page. So you can take a minute here to look and see what pots, I like to call them the buckets, where money based off of. And I will also share with you, and this is the perfect place for me to share. So the majority of our funds went straight towards staffing for the entire building. The only thing that was left over, and I have my spreadsheet in front of me. So the district held back $99,682 in reserve. It was locked there. That is just in case we don't meet our numbers and projections for next year, which is 675. That's just in case, so that you don't have to go and cut because you were over budgeted. If the projections are met, this money will be released, and therefore the next leader, whomever is the next principal, those funds can be added to various line items. After staffing, the only money that was left was $67,628. That is, and the line item that went on was instructional supplies. I will tell you all up front that is not enough. Normally for instructional supplies is well into over $100,000 for all the instructional supplies that have to be done, have to be purchased throughout the year. I am pretty sure that you all will probably get what they call carryover funds. Anything that's left over, a certain percentage of that will come back to the school. So whoever the next leader is, they will sit down and they can allocate those funds. The funds that are on the non-staffing page, those funds at any time of the year, if you need to do what they call a line item transfer, they can do a line item transfer. So I want to be very clear that although I am the outgoing principal, the majority of the funds went towards staffing. The only little small portion that was left was really $67,628, which is right now sitting on the supply line. But it is not enough to operate the school. So therefore, we have some CARES funds that we discussed, and then any additional reserves, such as the $99,000, you all, and y'all are my go team, so y'all will be here. That money would have to go towards non-staffing items to make sure. Now, the district did go ahead, and certain things we couldn't touch that they have allocated for, such as stipends for athletic stipends, fine art stipends, academic stipends are already locked in. We cannot touch that, as well as the funds for substitutes. All of that is already locked. But I will tell you, the majority of our budget, basically 98% of the budget, went towards staffing. Any questions regarding that? Please ask me, because this is probably our last meeting regarding budget, and especially since I am transitioning out. Any questions regarding the process of when a new leader comes, how budgets work once it's approved? Any questions at this time? Please ask.
I have a question.
Mhm. Yeah, hey, Hudson.
How you doing? So I know I was watching the legislative Go Team meeting a couple of days ago,
Mhm.
and they were talking about Brian Kemp approving approving money for the schools for this year and next year. I heard like it was a few $1 billion or $100 million or something. So I want to know, how does that impact our budget on the school level?
So what happens, so I don't know how it's going to impact the school budget, but in previous years when that has happened, I can kind of give you some history. What happens if it is approved, it comes down to the district, and then the leader will get an email to say your budget has been updated, or you'll get this email that says you have earned an additional $250,000. And then the leader can decide, like, if there's certain positions that we know we had to cut or something that you all want to add, at that time, you can actually add those back, but that will be on the leader. But we have to wait to see, once the money comes to the district, how they allocate it down to the school level. And then it will be the school leader that has, that collaborates based off of that strategic plan. Everything has to be based off of the strategic plan. They would say where they want those funds to go, but we always wait until it actually hits the district, and then the finance department would then push down how much each individual school gets. Great question, Hobson.
Because I know the main thing, real quick, I just want to, because the main thing was the security. I know security, a lot of money was for security and policing in the schools. So I don't know how will that.
So normally anything for security, it goes straight to safety and security department. And then they tell us, it goes to the district, it'll go to safety and security. So for instance, they may decide that they're going to purchase some more, the new metal detectors, the ones that you just walk through, like at the game at the stadium. If it's earmarked, it goes to the district, and then it goes to whomever. But the individual school, we can only say what we're going to do with the money once it's pushed out to the local school level.
Thank you.
I have a quick question, Principal Hill. When a new leader comes in, are there any changes to the budget that they can make involving personnel or staffing or instructional staffing?
So not when it's locked. So what happens, let's say for instance, like so there's a certain timeline in terms of contracts going out. So the positions we have right now are basically locked in. However, when September, October comes and they start pushing the money out, you can always add additional positions if you have the money for it and if it is aligned to your strategic plan.
Thank you.
Yes. Great question. So for instance, I'm gonna give y'all an example. For instance, if you all get a pot of money and you be like, we need a behavior therapist, or we need an additional instructional coach. When that money comes down, then that can be a discussion of where should that money, what should be added? Is it stuff or is it a person? But it has to be aligned to the strategic plan. Does that clarify, Murphy? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And always remember, Go Team, the leader, like for instance, like right now, I just ran a GL 298 and we're closing out the year. And I know there's some things that going into summer school and closing out that we need to do. So we can always do a line item transfer where we move, for instance, let's say we need some more Chromebooks. We can move and we have some extra money sitting in supplies. We can ask for a transfer from instructional supplies to computer expendable equipment. Okay, so you can always move line items. Now I will tell y'all the other part. If you come under budget, meaning let's say for instance, you're projected at 675 and only 650 come after the head count, there's something called a leveling process. With the leveling process, either you give up a person, a position, normally it's a teaching position, or you got to give up some money. Now I'm gonna tell y'all right now, you don't have a lot of money to give up because it's only $66,000 on the instructional supply line. So it will probably be a person if you don't meet your numbers. Okay. All right.
Ms. Hill, I have a question. I'm just curious with the, you said that the 66,000 is the amount that is, is the right word, available?
So right now for teaching the supplies for next year, 67,628.
Okay.
Now we could have made that more for instructional supplies, but it would have required to abolish some additional positions. But remember, there is a reserve sitting there. And you also have your CARES budget.
Okay, I was just asking because I think that amount is almost the same as some teachers' annual salary. So when you say that that could be what the choice between supplies or a teacher, seems funny. It's kind of the same, the amount.
Well, I'm assuming we have a lot of. I'm assuming because we have a lot of teachers, I'm assuming the ratio is higher than normal, right, Ms. Hill?
It is, and one of the things, because of our strategic plan, we've tried to keep the class size small, as small as possible, smaller than the 28-1 that's by the state. So right now, and if you're going to focus on instruction, trying to keep that class size, that was the priority. But if it shakes out that you have to cut some more, it's going to come down to a position, but y'all have to have some money to operate the school, so it wouldn't be necessarily supplies. But remember, you all have reserves. Okay, please ask me any questions, team. Anything you're wondering. Paul, you gotta wonder, are you good? Okay. And this is just shows the pie here of what it looks like, all those, the previous slide, how it actually looks in terms of the buckets. Okay. Any additional questions or wonderings? I would tell you all, please, if your number, when we started, and I can also share with this, since we've been back this last month, we've lost a lot of students. Within the last month, I think today our count was 683, which they are closing several apartment complexes, so it's real. So when y'all open up in August, y'all may have to do a campaign to knock on doors to find children. So we went from the beginning, I think when the beginning of the month, when I did the presentation for ACEs, and I shared it with you all, I think we were 718. Today we were 683. And it's just because of the changes in the community. But we're every student, that's almost $4,500 base. That when the student leaves, that's a base of about $4,500. What can we do? I saw there was a question in the chat from an observer. We need to find our children. What's happening, and you all know because you all live or drive in this area, several of the apartment complexes, Pavilion Place, I call it Golf Vista, we're losing students because they're closing those units. So I will tell you, promotion, advertising. I will also tell you all, IDEA open seats for administrative transfers. So we do have a few that have come through. So either district personnel allowing their children to come here, and or people who are coming to the school from another school. So they're not in our zone, but they live in the district and they select to come here. I did open, I think it was 45 more seats up. And I will tell you that has helped us the last few years. And there was a question about homeless kids. So we have seen a lot of McKinney-Vento. If the children are homeless, they can stay here, and we provide, if possible, they can stay here. We try to make sure, and the district has been supporting us. They now get the little Uber vouchers, not Uber, Lyft vouchers, transportation goes to pick them up. In McKinney-Vento, we try to keep them here. Even right now, the last resort is to let a child go. However, we can actually, get the student to stay here. We have been intentionally working on that. But if you all don't do anything else, please make sure that you listen to the facilities planning meetings that happen with the board, because there are a lot of shifts in our community happening right now. Just outside of Go Team, anytime there's a facilities planning meeting, please listen. I think at first it was hidden, like right now it's hidden some other clusters, but it is coming this way. Okay, like when that is the redrawing of lines.
Yeah, I was just noticing the neighborhood, like on Empire, they've been doing a lot of road work, and that road work, I believe, is to add the fiber for data. And when you have that, you have an influx of it's changing because a lot of the up and coming metro areas are having that added too. And then we have the development across the street for $300,000 homes.
Yep.
That's a huge development. And for those people that are in the area with kids, Crawford Long is going to be that gym. So you have to be mindful, like you said, of the redistricting of the school and what decisions are going to be made, because it's going to be in favor of new homeowners and new people to this area, not
Mhm.
current residents.
Yeah.
Yep. So
And that's the other thing. Some of them are having like pavilions, some of them are moving out. And they say they're redoing them. It's no Golf Vista across from Browns Mill Golf Course. They're saying they're redoing them. But when they redo them, they'll say affordable living, but that's only a few units.
yeah, a small
So-
percentage, because that's only required by law.
Right. And now I'm also going to say that is one reason why communities and schools, that was put back in the budget. Communities and schools, you all have recently worked some miracles. I'm talking about miracles of paying utility, finding like places in here helping with rent. Also, we put in the budget to continue to have a full-time parent liaison. That is needed, and we will have to continue to do that, you all. Because, and I'm gonna tell you, if you all could just be up in the front office or in Ms. Bussey's office, the tears, and there's a lot of elderly grandparents who are being uprooted, who are raising grandchildren. And a lot of times they don't know where to turn. So it has been great having resources in the school. Ms. Livingston, everyone has been just helping to try to keep a roof over their head and keep those kids in school. All right. So now we're at the action. The GO team now needs to take action, which means to vote on the presented budget. After the motion and a second, the GO team may have some discussions. Once the discussions are concluded, the GO team will vote. So I'm gonna throw it back over to you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hill, for sharing this information. I will now entertain a motion to approve the budget. Can I get a motion?
Jesse Webb, motion to approve the budget.
A second.
A second.
A second.
All those, all in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions, please identify yourself or raise your hand. All right, that has been approved.
This was my last budget approval.
All right, we will now move on to information items. First is the principal's report.
All right, so recently we took the BASC, our scholars, and a shout out to our teachers because they also had to complete the BASC assessment, which is basically a behavior assessment. So the students, they answer questions about how they feel, their perception of how they feel at home, how they feel at school, community. And I want to share the most recent data. So here you can see there are different categories. You have normal, which is green. You have elevated. You have extremely. So take a minute to look at how the students rated themselves and how the teachers or school officials rated them. I will tell you we have, and this is, people say, well, why do we still have to have 3 counselors? Why do we still have to have a full-time clinical therapist? This data, and this is called making data-driven decisions, elevated and extremely elevated means that you have to make sure you can't just focus on academics. You have to focus on the entire child. We know specifically who these students are. The counselors have been working with them, our care team, even like outside of just Ms. Barksdale, referring them for family therapy as well. This data, and we do it twice a year, this data has been so critical to providing the students and the families with additional support. Also, this is the why we did not cut wraparound services. I'm just gonna be honest. Our babies, and we know this, our babies come with a lot. Yesterday, I got a chance along with some district personnel to interview and do empathy surveys, like an empathy interview with there were 6 students. And I'm gonna tell you all, first of all, and they also did the equity survey. Believe it or not, 93% of our students said that they know their teachers and school officials care about them and want them to succeed. That speaks volumes. We actually scored higher than the district average. Yesterday, during the empathy surveys, the kids said, several kids shared openly that they deal with so much when they come in. They just try to get to school to shake it off. And they said that you can go either, and they named some of y'all by name, and I'm just smiling. I'm not gonna say the names for some of y'all on this call, that even when they come in, they know if the teachers know if they had a bad day, they know how to talk to them, they care about them. They talked about the circles, they talk about the clinical therapists. So this is the why. It's not just doing stuff and creating positions just to create them. Yes, Ms. Hall.
Okay, so I have a question. I'm just looking at the teacher and school officials. I see that we're extremely elevated.
No,
and-
this not us.
Oh,
This
it's
is
not
what we
us.
ready to, this remember
Okay,
when the homeroom? No, this was what you all said about your kids. Remember when y'all had to fill it out? for
Okay,
your
I remember doing all that. I just wanted to make sure
kids?
that
No, that's
we
what
didn't need a counselor or a therapist. That's it. I just wanted to make sure that if we
No.
need some couch time, that we will be allotted that
Yes.
couch time
Yeah.
with our therapist.
Yes, you all need some couch. Yeah, we all need some couch time with our therapists. But this was what you all said about the students that when you did it on your homeroom students.
Now, Ms. Hall, now I know before I think we took a survey when they asked the teachers about how we felt about how it is at work, I believe, or something
That was
like
that was the panorama survey. That was the equity survey.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We just got that data in. I got it in day before yesterday, and we reviewed it during the expanded cabinet meeting. So I'm going to share that with you all as well. But I want to say thank you all for being truthful. Just district wide, so I can see district data and I can see local school data. That data is going to inform some supports that I'm not even just going to say teachers that we need from a higher level, a district level, to support us as teachers and as leaders. So thank you all. That's the panorama data. It just came in and we dug through it yesterday during expanded cabinet meeting. So I will be sharing that with you all, Hobson.
Okay,
All
great.
right. And we have taken so many surveys, and there's one more survey that I just sent y'all this evening. The Georgia Health Survey. The Georgia Personnel Survey. We have to do that one as well. That one goes to the state. In case for my people observing, us and the students, we do so many surveys. And some of the questions, like we don't know which survey we said what on. So any questions about the BAS data? I know we kind of asked questions as we were going.
I have a question. Based on the process of collecting the data and getting the data, has it proven to be very accurate or precise, or has that data been advantageous district-wide?
Say it one more time, Mer.
Has that data been very advantageous district-wide and giving students the services that they need? Like, is the process of collecting it, has it really been, like, have you seen any real, has it been true data?
So I will tell you at the local school, but I have my locus of control. I use it.
Okay.
However, at the district level, I think there are some things that are being worked out in terms of additional support. We have shared, and I smile, we have shared that some additional things are needed from the district. Because we have the flexibility and autonomy with the budgets, a lot of things are created at the local school.
Okay.
But they have not come up with a district plan. I know some of the things, like for instance, there is a position was created for an inclusion coach. Also the disproportionality, like Ms. Alford in that position, that was provided to us. So they did use data about, in certain schools, they used the data to put the disproportionality coaches in certain buildings. That didn't come out of our budget. That came out of, from the district seeing a need. So there are some things that they are working on to make sure that we receive some additional support. And also like the Hazel Health, which is free of charge, that came based off of data as well. So there are things that they are putting in place that does not come out of our local school budget.
Okay, thank you.
Great questions. Well, that is it. We did our ACES presentation the last time, so I didn't have to do it tonight. Any additional questions? I can stop sharing. Okay, Madam Chair, that is all I had.
All right, thank you so much, Principal Hill. We will now hear any additional information, items.
So
Does
we
anybody have,
oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
So we have started the process for the selecting the next principal for Long Middle School. So thank you to everyone that provided your feedback through the different surveys as well as the meetings. So thank you. Ms. Hill is just an observer in the process. I'm not in the process. I did provide my feedback via the link as well. On yesterday, based off of the timeline that was shared on that flyer, on yesterday, our chair and vice chair had to go to central office to go through resumes and information. Do you all want to share anything that you all can share, Ms. Hall?
I just wanted to let everybody know that yesterday, Mr. Murphy and I participated in Tier 2. Tier 2 is basically what Ms. Hill was explaining, where, let's start from the beginning. So in the beginning, Ms. Hill said, "Hey guys, I'm leaving." And so from there, the job was posted and you had applicants that were able to apply. So we had a survey sent out to faculty, staff, parents, people in the community to get your input on the qualifications that you would like to see in a principal. So Mr. Matt Rogers also had another meeting with us to see if there were any more questions to get your input. In that meeting, he did say that if you weren't able to complete the survey, he gave us to that evening to send a couple of questions. I myself, I gave my number and my email, and Mr. Murphy set up a link. I emailed that link to the school because Matt Rogers needed it by that morning so that he can go ahead and start doing vetting and go through everything. So from there, during the Tier 2 process, Mr. Murphy and myself, we went and we looked at all the qualifications that the people wanted as a whole from the survey that we compiled. So I just want everybody to know that your voice is being heard. It's not myself, it's not Mr. Murphy, it's not Mr. Usher. It's not Mr. Matt that has a say in this. I just want everybody to understand and know that the qualifications that you guys recommended, we listen to those. Now y'all know, if you know Ms. Hall, you know that I listen, and I feel like as a whole, this is very important because Ms. Hill has been here for 10 years, and I do not want anybody, whether it's a staff member, a parent, to not feel like their voice is not being heard. So next Tuesday is where we go into Tier 3. Now, Tier 3, the whole GO team will be there. Mr. Murphy, the people from the community, Ms. Delanice, Mr. Hobson. And we will have some people from downtown in there to support us. And we will also have another principal there to help guide us. But it won't be Ms. Hill. They didn't tell us who it was. So just know that once we get to that tier 3 process, before we start the interviews, we have to sit down and go through the question bank that they give us. We have to go through the spreadsheet that Mr. Matt presented to come up with questions. So we don't have those questions. We're not moving fast. We did have to sign a confidentiality agreement, so there's not much that we can say. But all that I can say is that the candidates that we were able to weed through are very strong candidates, and they come to the table with everything that we compiled from that survey. Each and every one of the individuals come to the table with that plus more. So just know that the same way you feel like it's a big task, we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. Excuse me. Or the weight of Crawford Long on our shoulders. So know that we are being as transparent as possible, and we're in this together. So if I can answer any questions, know that I will answer them, but it's some stuff that I can't answer. I can't say who, I can't say that, but I can say that we got some good people that have been some places and that know some things that we feel like will be beneficial to Crawford Long and continue us on the path of greatness.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Ms. Hall, I did have a question. You didn't mention, I didn't hear you mention Mr. Webb. He's part of the GO team. Will he?
Yes, I say everybody. Mr.
Okay.
We have community. I didn't know if he had another. But he's invited too. He's on the list too. Everybody, the parents, everybody on our roster.
Just out of curiosity, those who have never come, would they still be able to come?
So, and she sent out the email. If they're on our roster, they are expected to be there. Now, if they can't make it, that's fine. But as long as we have a quorum, we're good.
All right.
Mr. Murphy, Mr. Hobson, do you guys have anything to add?
No, I think you stated everything pretty well, Ms. Hall, and that, their voices are being heard. And a lot of the questions and qualifications came from that initial virtual call with Matt Rogers. So it's very important that when those community public virtual meetings come up, that you're in attendance to get your voice heard.
I'm sorry, Miss Blissy just chumped me out in the thing. Sorry, Miss Hill, you've been here 12 years.
That's girl. It all blends.
Sorry, Miss Blissy.
It's all right. It all blends. It's okay.
But yeah, just make sure that you're in attendance the same way we have GO team meetings. Make sure you're in attendance to know the governing of your school and also who's going to be in the next position to run your school. And so we'll make sure that those things are posted, the emails are out, so you can make sure that your voice is being heard. And like I say, a lot of the information that you all inputted in the chats is what was given to us to use as qualifications for picking a panel of candidates for principal. So you all are the voice. I mean, you guys are the server they're looking, because this person needs to represent the culture of the school and the culture of the community and where it's heading to. And so definitely always send your input to us, and like I say, be in attendance. Yes.
Hey, Mr. Hobson, I saw you on mute.
Yes, I don't have anything to say. Just excited to see us in this third tier process.
Yeah. So you all represent next Tuesday.
Yes.
Represent.
All right, we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? Anything anybody needs to get off their chest or heart that it is for the common good of the group? All right, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I
Wait.
move that we.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Y'all got public comment
Oh, we got a
Who said
public,
that?
Where?
we have public comment. Yeah, we got a public comment.
on
Okay.
your
Okay.
last.
Okay. So we
On
can
It's
your-
open
on
the public comment.
YouTube.
We, we got a public comment.
We're on YouTube.
So we can open,
Here we
you can
go.
open the floor up on, for public comment. Where's the public comment?
Where
I
is
think,
it?
is it Ms. Howe?
Yeah, Ms. Howe, We can open up for public comment.
Go ahead, Ms. Howe.
Ms. Howe?
Yes, so I just wanted to, I couldn't, I was in the chat and I had to say something. So I am the education committee chair for MPUZ. And I would love for you guys to reach out to me because I was not aware that we are losing a lot of kids. I have been fighting for this across the district, but I didn't know it has moved further south. So reach out to me and let me know how I can support. The McKinney Veto Act is very important if these families are moved and then something come up where they don't have permanent housing. And we want them to have a stable education life because that's how I met Miss Hill.
Yeah.
And she has just been a treasure. Now my baby is now in ninth, 10th grade. So she just been wonderful. And I hate to see her go, but I will stick around and make sure the school is okay. I want you to know that. So I just wanted to say, I know she's transitioning and she won't be gone. But we sure will miss you around here. I will miss you in the Go team. I will find you. That's no worries. But you guys who will be on the Go team next year with the new leadership, please let me know how I can help and how we can figure out with our council member or the mayor. I have no problem. She know it. How we can get the kids stable so we don't see what has happened to the rest of the city and we can, have the next couple of years a little stable for our community. So I just want to share that because I thought that was critical. And please also pay attention to the rezoning. I know it's not specifically affecting us directly down here, but we see it is. And so if we can get ahead of that, it's no such thing of it's nothing we can do because we can do whatever we set our heart and mind to. I just wanted to lift that up. And Miss Hill, I love you. Thank you for everything. Let me just say this for the record. When I with COVID, the original COVID, baby called me and said, "Do you need something?" I will bring the kids schoolwork. You need food. I will never forget that because I almost died with that COVID. And I haven't had it no more. I've been well, thank you God. But she was so caring and she texted and she called and she emailed. And I was so sick, I couldn't even answer the phone, email. But I said, some kind of way, I'm gonna get them babies on that computer and they gonna do their work. And we did, and they passed. So I thank you and I wish you well on your next journey. Love you, ma'am.
Love you, Miss Howe. When I tell you our team, thank you, Miss Howe, for coming off mute. Y'all always see her. When I tell you, in this position, you can't do it by yourself. And Ms. Howe has been she's been that person behind, helping and pushing. If I didn't know who to go to, and this is a fighting position, fighting for us to have what other schools have, both my teachers as well as the kids. And sometimes when you're employed by the district, you can't always come out boxing. You got to have some people behind you. And she has always been behind me. So you all, keep her. I wish y'all could get on your Go team. If she can be on your Go team, she's an advocate. She has no problem. She's not scared. She'll go say the stuff that you don't want to say or you feel like you can't say. And I just want to publicly say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Howell. I don't know how to get your information.
I can give it to you.
Okay,
Mhm.
Ms. Hill will.
Is it okay if I share your information? Oh, you can drop it in the chat, Ms. Howe.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any more public comments at this moment?
I'm gonna miss y'all. We got one more, but I'm gonna miss y'all. Y'all, I was sick yesterday. I couldn't eat dinner knowing that tier 2 was going on. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm okay because I know it's in good hands. So thank you.
I just want y'all to know Ms. Hill is hyping up Like, she was stressed that she wasn't even there. We were the stressed ones.
I ate just
Y'all okay?
fine.
What y'all doing? Y'all okay?
I ate fine. Yes, I ate the snacks and everything. I
Oh, and everything. You forgot that and everything.
didn't.
Uh,
One last, the next meeting is scheduled for May 17th, so not in April. But May
Right.
17th.
Oh, okay.
Final.
Yeah, because spring break and all that. Okay.
yes.
We'll
and that
probably,
would-
we'll probably do something. We'll decide to do
I
something.
think Ms. Hill stated that she's gonna take us all out to dinner,
I
but
was thinking about that. I really was thinking about we could do something different. We'll figure
yeah,
out how to
Ruth Chris
frame it.
sounds real nice.
I think you said Ruth Chris?
Yeah, Mr. Webb volunteered to pick up the tab. Y'all split it half and half.
Ask
Community
Miss Shockley.
involvement.
Ask Miss Shockley, she got some money to help us go out to eat. So she can come too.
All right, thank you guys so much. So may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
A second,
Wow.
can I get it out? Go, Murphy.
Oh, I was going to say something before y'all move to adjourn. To Ms. Howe, you know, the mayor had this initiative to build affordable housing for people, and I think that needs to be stressed: affordable home ownership for people as well, to stop the transitions that a lot of our students face in their family life, to bring about stability. And so, even in this area, because a lot of times we celebrate certain areas, but the celebrations now are not of the people that were native to those areas. And we show a different face. And I don't think that's always a good thing. And so I think I would like to work with you in trying to meet the mayor or pitch it to the mayor about seeing about this area, because a lot of the other areas have already through this housing boom are now unaffordable. And so now South Atlanta is like, okay, that last little gem that's still inside the perimeter, and now they're taking that over. And some change is good, but not everything needs to be changed per se. And so definitely like to talk with you further this
First,
conversation.
I would tell you, I have no problem with speaking to the mayor. Ms. Hill said this. I have no problem. Superintendent, whomever, these joint committees, I have no problem. I can tell you that if you go and look at Atlanta City Council, Housing Development Committee meetings, I have spoken with the Atlanta Housing CEO before. He have put forth an initiative of about 10,000 affordable housing. He pushed for 1,500 new home ownership families. I've been leaning on him. I do go to their board meeting. I plan on going this month, so I will lift that up as well. So they do have some initiative out here. To your point, I think we need to be yelling, you better take care of the South Side or we gonna take care of you.
Right. Instead, yeah, exactly.
Please, because y'all, it's coming.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's almost like just seeing how many grandparents been coming up here to withdraw kids, and they don't know. And this property they've been sitting on, and they don't know. And some of them are losing it because of the most of them are losing it because of the taxes, y'all.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that
And y'all-
education piece, we have to educate. And even if you know, like for next year, this summer or something, have something for the South Atlanta homeowners or landowners to talk about. What can you do to keep your land? Don't just sell it because somebody want to offer you a little bit more than it's worth. We have to keep.
They're that's coming, they're saying that they're helping them and they're signing
Yep.
over home.
Yep.
And what's happening, they are maybe a little ashamed to tell us what happened, but I think we can push for some initiatives like I seen on the west side, like in the Vine City area, because I'm from the west side, I'm from Atlanta, where they are paying the taxes of the people who are or who community have been heavily gentrified. So maybe we need to go before our city council, both 1 and 6, and our at large, and tell them, hey, we need something done right now. Like,
May I interject something?
Mhm.
There are certain individuals in the Atlanta area that are getting a very, very successful. And that's contributing to the fact that our neighborhood is now being gentrified and taxes are going up. And I know that like Killer Mike on the west side, hasn't he been very, very instrumental in trying to help make sure that
And
homes are still affordable?
Yeah,
Well,
so Mike and
Tyler Perry-
Mike and I can call Mike. We actually grew up together from 8th grade all the way to 12th grade. We sat in the same homeroom together, so we're great.
Okay.
And he has been trying to do a lot. I can connect him with us as well. Ms. Howe, I smile because Hall is from born and raised on the west side. Weren't you west side? You went to Washington.
I'm from the southwest side. I was zoned
Yep.
for Thero, but I do want to let you guys know that even once they get into these houses, if they get a mortgage or if they don't, them taxes, and they got loopholes. So it's like you have to train, not train, you have to give information past that point. Because in purchasing my childhood home, I didn't know that I needed to do something else. Because after my first year, my mortgage jumped up by like $500. And because I didn't do that one
Homestead
piece,
exemptions and things such as that.
yeah, they don't tell us about those things. Because I'm telling you now, in Venetian, they have $500,000 homes. And these are homes that aren't worth the $500,000, but people are coming in and they're buying them and they're just renting them out.
And it's inflating the taxes of those others that live there that are, 60, 70 years old generation, people that are living there in their neighborhood. It's inflating their taxes to our, outrageous
You from the
rate.
west side too, aren't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm from Grant Park.
What?
How you go to Douglas? I'm gonna call and tell Dr. Hill that you were out of zone.
Nah, Mr. Lee Park put me over there. Dr. Lee Park.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was out of zone. I had to stay. I couldn't get in trouble. I was living in Decatur.
And let me just say thank you, because it's bigger than just the school, y'all. So thank you. It's bigger than just the school. It's bigger than just the kids. It's like information. I saw everybody, it's information, getting the information out there. And sometimes letting people know it's okay if you don't know. Let's share the information and walk through this together. Because that pride sometimes gets in the way, and it's okay if you don't know. All right, y'all.
I don't want to get started then. Everybody's hearts and minds clear.
Yes, hearts and minds are clear.
Okay.
Oh, I
Mr.
got one
Webb,
more
you
thing
been-
I want to say. No, I was joking.
Mr. Webb, you been real quiet. Mr.
Real.
McCool, I see that message in there, but I know you driving, so I'm gonna let you focus. Mr. O'Neal, you good? Okay. Your dogs did good today. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of them. Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move that we adjourn this meeting at 6:35 p.m.
I second that motion.
Dang, can I get a second?
I second it.
Mr.
She just
O'Neal.
seconded it. You don't say she said.
Okay, all in favor say aye and raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions, please identify yourself or raise your hand. The meeting is adjourned at 6:35 on today, 3:15.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. See you all day.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.